I'm Alex with Storyline Travel. In this video, we're taking a shore excursion from Progreso, a port at the very tip of the Yucatan Peninsula. The excursion was called the White and Golden Cities of the Yucatan. And one of the things that you'll notice as soon as you step off the ship in Progreso is that you're on a pier that's a long way from the mainland. It's also a very industrial pier. When you step off the ship, you need to find the number associated with your excursion, get in line, and then hop on a bus. The excursion begins with a bus ride. We head to the mainland, through the port security, and on to the city of Mérida. This city is known as the White City due to the white color of the limestone that's used to paint the facade of many of the buildings. We were able to see the monument a la Patria, or Monument to the Homeland, as our bus traveled on a popular roundabout near the center of the city. The day of our excursion was on Mexican Independence Day, and unfortunately many areas of the city were closed down for parades and activities that were going to be happening later in the day. We only had the chance to visit one of the beautiful cathedrals, and as you see, this cathedral takes its inspiration from many of the European cathedrals, and you can definitely see the Catholic and Spanish influence that's here in the Yucatan Peninsula. After gathering our group together from touring the cathedral and talking to a significant number of street vendors, we boarded the bus and headed for the Golden City, Izamal. Izamal is a very colorful city, and as you can tell from the colorings of the buildings, the bright yellow or golden color is where it gets the nickname as the Golden City. Our first visit was to the Convento de San Antonio de Padua. Sorry about the Texas accent. My Spanish isn't the best. It was constructed in 1561 and sits atop the ruins of an ancient Mayan temple. This elevated area has a switchback ramp for those who struggle with stairs. This historic convent is one of the oldest Catholic monasteries in the Americas. The convent has a large courtyard with beautiful green grass and is the centerpiece of this small Mexican village. We enjoyed spending time walking around and getting a sense of the size and imagining what it was like in the 15, 16, and 1700s as this convent was in use. Once we were through exploring this area, we headed down back to the street level where there were horses waiting for us with carriages that would take us around the small village. The horse-drawn carriages were decorated in bright colors that just seemed to fit with this small Mexican village. Each carriage was made for just 2 passengers, and we climbed aboard with a nice covering over the carriage. Our horse wore a little hat and clomped around the village. Most of the route would take you around the convent we had just explored, and as the village itself isn't that big, it didn't take us long to go through the village, see some of the architecture, and just enjoy the beauty that is Izamal. As the horse-drawn carriage ride came to an end, we were dropped off at a local restaurant that was waiting for us. Our excursion did include a nice lunch, and this was going to be our opportunity to enjoy lunch. As noted earlier, it was the Mexican Independence Day, and even though we had plenty of time to explore the convent and enjoy the horse-drawn carriage, a lot of time had been taken up in navigating around a lot of the closures due to Mexico's celebration. So while some of us did enjoy the lunch that was offered, about half of our excursion group had to take their lunch to go. Sooner than any of us really liked, we were back on the bus and heading to the port to get back on the ship. That was our experience on this excursion of the white and golden cities of the Yucatan. Our excursion would rate maybe a 50%. We didn't really get to explore much of the first city of Merida, and I would have liked to have seen more than just the cathedral that we got to explore. In addition to all the time it took us to navigate around closed roads, we didn't get to spend near as much time as we would have liked to in either city. While we did get to spend more time in Izumel, by the time we got through the tour part and enjoyed the horse-drawn carriage, we had just a short time at the restaurant. And to be honest, the food wasn't even ready when we got to the restaurant. Even though we had an extremely limited menu, it still took a good amount of time for food to be served. And again, half of our excursion had to take to-go boxes and either eat on the bus or try to bring it with them onto the ship. Progreso itself as a port isn't really that pretty and constantly under construction. Maybe as they finish it, it will be a more enjoyable port. And to be perfectly honest, it's not one that is visited very much currently from those in the Western Caribbean. We hope you enjoyed this look and that it helps you make a decision if you do find yourself stopping in at Progreso. If you'd like to see more of our excursions, check out this one from Roatan, where we enjoyed zip line and an animal encounter. That one was definitely a lot better of an excursion experience. And at Storyline Travel, we believe every adventure is a story waiting to be told.